Promotion presents Cream. Yes, cream of the crop, the best of the best soca DJs out of Brooklyn and Queens. Come party with the best of the best every other Saturday at 9 p.m. starting from April 2nd through July 23rd at 204 Parkside Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Get your $20 early bird tickets at eventbrite.com. This event will also be streamed live globally. Photographers and videographers will be on site to catch you in your best party mode. Advance tickets $20. At the door, you pay more. Season 1, Episode 1.
Okay, all right. Now you guys hearing me. Now you guys hearing me, right? Yeah. Kobe, you can tell me that we have no audio. All right, all you hear me now? Everybody hear me now? We good now? Kobe, you hear me? All right, okay. All right, thank you. Okay, I was just checking and see if all you're paying attention. All right? I was just checking and see who paying attention and who not paying attention. Yeah. Glenda, how you doing? All right, guys, so today's program is a sad one. Today we have a grieving family on the program. But it was necessary that they share their story today, because this thing don't look good. This thing is not looking good. This thing, unless some kind of special prosecution or some kind of intervention happened, Jed, I fear that nothing is going to happen about it. So the family reached to a point that they figure that the only way that they could get more awareness and get some movement on this case is to take it public. I'm going to explain the whole story, guys. I'm going to explain the story. The whole family is on the program today and ready to tell us about this situation, very sad situation that they're going through. Sad. All right, guys, so it's your time. We're going to take 2 minutes and big up some of the people who are watching, some of the people who are tuning in, some of the loyal supporters. who are always here. Dodo, big up yourself. I'm loud and clear, Teresa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, 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 yes. Kobe, it's a while we haven't done a roll call, you know. It's a while we haven't done a roll call. Let me see where you guys are checking us out from right now. Let me see where you guys are watching us from. Where you guys are right now. Where are you checking out the program? Just put your flags up. Let me big you up and big up where your island, your country, your neck of the woods, your area, your village. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Hey, Sheena from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you so much, Sheena, from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Big up yourself. Lydia, of course, I know where you're there. Lydia, no need to tell us. We know where you are. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago. Big up Trinidad. Big up the folks in Jamaica as well. The folks in Grenada, thank you so much for locking it down. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. New York, New York. I'm seeing Brampton, Canada. I'm seeing London. Big up yourself. Jamaica. Beckway. Yeah, Beckway, Grenada. Big up to the folks in St. Vincent. I was in St. Vincent about 8 months ago, and I love the place. Love it bad. So big up to my Vincentian friends and family that's locked on Grenada. Blessings to you all. All right, so let's go into it, guys. Let me do one last share here, and then we're gonna kick it off. All right. So CJ is a young man that I just heard about. In fact, last week was the first time I learned of his story after a family member contacted us to tell us about the dissatisfaction that they had with the justice system in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You see, this young man, jolly old guy, I mean, young guy, not old at all, very young guy, liked to dance, just the typical, just having fun. But what happened to him, the family said, was injustice. And they fear that if they don't speak about this, nothing will be done. Let's bring on our guest on the program right now. The family is joining us from St. Vincent and the Grenadines right now. We have Devion and his mom, who is Natasha. Mr. Williams, Natasha, you guys, welcome to the program. I'm sorry we had to meet on these circumstances, but I think it's important that we have this discussion. Let's start with the mom. Natasha, how are you doing today?
Not too good, but thank God to be alive and well.
Yes, I understand. And I know speaking about this, regurgitating this whole thing have to be a difficult one. And you, the mother, and is it Devian? Am I saying it right?
Devion, yeah.
Devian, welcome to the program. How are you doing, Devian?
Well, we're just trying our best just to hang in here and, be as comfortable as much as we can every day.
Right. Okay, so we're going to be talking about CJ. Natasha, your son. Tell us a little bit about CJ. Talk a little bit about CJ. Who is CJ?
CJ is an 18-year-old. He was have a lot of joy in his, around him. He made people happy. He could do anything. He don't have nothing that he cannot do. Um, he always said he wants to be somebody like could help people fix stuff and all of that. He even loved to cook, loved to be in the kitchen, loved to eat, loved to do a lot of things. Anything you ask him to do, he can do it.
Right.
And he always
Right.
makes people happy.
Yes. So, moms, let's start with you also about this very tragic story. What transpired? What happened? Tell us from the start.
Well, I was at work and I was there sitting. I got an instant headache, like from my head to my back of my head, and feel funny. So I was saying, what can make me feel this way? Then I start to pray and I start to sing some gospel while I'm there. Then all of a sudden I get a phone call like 10 minutes after saying my son get in an accident. I said, I don't believe this. Yes, it's true. So I decide I call emergency and they say, yes, it's true, my son get into an accident. So I went down there. When I went there, I saw him in the room lying there with a mask on his face and start to bring up everything out of his stomach. So I couldn't face him. I go back outside because the condition of how he was there lying, I go back outside and I was crying. When I cooled down, I went back in the room and I was asking him what happened. So he told me that he went down Kittles to buy a tire, he and a friend. So while he went down there, the tire was the right tire. So he returned back the tire, he and the friend. And while they were going back down there, he said there was a black vehicle in front of him. So he saw the police transport, like they come out from the area. And like one of them must raise their hand or something, but he think it's the vehicle in front, the black vehicle they were trying to stop. So he overtake the black vehicle and he going on his way. When he realizes they were chasing, he and his friend. So he say he end up into a road, a Vermont road. That is when he realized they're still chasing him, and the way they were chasing him is like they onto him. They're not backing off of him until they reach to the end of the road, and he kind of slowed down to go down the hill, the road, the dirt road. That is when they hit him and run over him. They run the vehicle over him. And he was telling me, Mommy, I was under the wrapped up. Before that, he told me one of them even hit him in his chest. I don't know when that occurred, if it's when they were chasing him or what. But he telling me one of he was under the vehicle wrapped up. Mommy, I was underneath, they burning up. And the axle brake, Mommy. And he was telling me if they did ease upon him, all this might have happened to him.
All right, so let's go back a little bit. Let's take it a bit slow. So CJ was traveling. What was he on, a bicycle, a bike? What was he in? What was he on?
Motorbike.
A motorbike. He's traveling on a motorbike,
Yeah.
and he passed a police car, overtake a police car.
It's not a car, it's a Jeep.
A Jeep. Okay, a police vehicle.
They must be about coming out by the gap because he didn't pass the police vehicle. It's a black vehicle, he say he overtake. While he think is the black vehicle, the police then was stopping. So he keep on going. When he realizes they chasing. But he was telling me because he didn't have his permit on him, because the same morning he gave me his permit. And it's like you don't know how police does harass you and treat your mommy, and you don't know what they're going to do if he stop. So he keep going.
Yes. So the police then proceeded, as far as what he told you, the police proceeded to run the vehicle over him, assaulted him, beat. I was given some pictures, but I'm not going to show these pictures. It's too gruesome, and I don't want to bring you back to that point again. But based on what I saw in the pictures, it looked as if somebody burned somebody. It looked as if somebody. It looked as if he had a few broken bones. So it's obvious. It seems as if he was beaten, probably ran over, probably burnt with some object, and I mean, it seems like it's not just a regular a regular arrest. Devian, where were you when you got the news of what transpired?
Well, I was on a job working at the moment. And then I went down to my mom's house, which is right next door to CJ's house. And my mom was telling me that CJ got into an accident. I said, an accident? She said, yes. So it's like, I'm trying to figure out what type of accident he got into. Did he run onto something? He fall off his bike? Did he got hit by somebody? You know, we were just trying to figure out what the story was at the moment. So I was like a little bit lost at that time, you know. And then a friend of his came to the house looking for him. So it's like I was there, like, mommy, should I tell the guy, you know, what happened to CJ? I wonder if he knew what happened to him. So I was not aware that it's like nobody knew. Absolutely nobody knew what happened. You know, that accident took place. Not even the people from the area knew of an accident or any incident took place. You know, it was that quiet. So at that point, I was a bit lost until I started to get more information from my sister, which is Natasha. You know, she giving us the insight into what happened and what CJ was telling her, what happened to him.
Right. So, how did CJ get from the scene to the hospital? Now, after they would have whatever brutalized him, alleged brutalized him at that particular scene, how did he get transported to the hospital? Who took him to the hospital?
Well, when I talked to CJ, he said they were when they run over him. He said they try and put him in their vehicle, but their vehicle couldn't make it. They try and reverse the vehicle, come back up the hill because it's a dirt road, and the dirt road is like down. So you have to reverse back the vehicle. So they try and reverse back the vehicle. So they were on the concrete now, so they couldn't move with their vehicle. So he was in their vehicle. And it's like there was a man who come there and assist them named Shilling. And when he came, they were there, like they can't move with their vehicles. So he tell them he will carry him to the hospital. But he said when he was there, they saying, oh, let they carry him to the hospital before he dead pan them. So, and he said the way they put him inside the vehicle, it's like, mommy, my foot was they go inside the vehicle, my foot them fall back down, like they force him inside the vehicle. So the way how his foot them was inside the vehicle, he couldn't even, relax himself inside, and he was in a lot of pain, he say.
Someone is asking that, and before we get to the hospital and what happened at the hospital and how they treated him at the hospital, how many police officers were there, and who was those police officers? Was he someone that had a grudge with CJ? Was he someone that had a personal vendetta or something?
I don't know because when we were at the hospital, I asked who bring my son at the hospital. Nobody could say who bring my son. They said they just drop him and leave him. When I asked CJ who bring him, he says a man with a police officer, and he could tell me the number plate of the vehicle who knock him over, but it's another vehicle we bring him. And he could have tell me the color of the vehicle. So it's like I talk to the doctors and nurse. They say they don't know who bring him. They asking the same question. How can they bring somebody and just leave them? So, and they were saying the way they bring him is like they bring him like if he was dead. The way they hold him, they didn't hold him like if a person who injured, they hold him like if he gone dead. That's how they hold him and bring him. So they thought he was dead when they bring him to the hospital.
Davian, I know you
Yeah.
probably would have heard and, did your own personal investigation to try to understand that. But I'm trying to get a handle as to why would police officers just target CJ and brutalize him like that? Was it something personal? Could it be something personal?
Well, I only could speak from my heart, right? Because if they had something that they had against CJ, the bikers, because I mean, it's a group of young people, and young people, talented young people, they always, try to develop their skill and, try to move ahead in life, which CJ was a very talented young man. Very, very talented, I'm telling you. Because it have days when CJ was the only one of his friends had a motorcycle, and there would be like 20 something pedal bike in front of his mom's house, and he teaching every single one of these pedal bike riders how to ride that motorbike. And I I really don't know. And
Right.
it's something that put everybody to see that that officer is also a bike rider. So then why would you be so aggressive towards a fellow bike rider?
Right. Right. Let me bring everybody up to speed where we are right now. We're talking to the family about what happened to this young man, 18-year-old CJ from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He was brutalized, beaten. I don't know how he looks as if he have burnt marks all over him. I don't know what happened there. But when I looked at the pictures, I was thinking about blurring it and show it, but we decided just not to show it at all. It was not a sight that I wanted to bring across, especially to regurgitate back that to the family. But it looked as if this kid was taken advantage of to the worst. It's like a truck ran over this man. It's alleged by a group of police officers, right? Now, we're moving on with the story. CJ was then transported to the hospital. And you would think when someone gets transported to the hospital, there would be a rush to try to possibly save the man's life. But the way how they transported him is like if he was dead. So talk about when he got into the hospital and how he was treated from the time the person, did the police and them come and give a statement and try to explain what happened, what the police officers and them did in that process?
Well, that's something that I would let the mother explain because she was the one there present at the hospital doing, most of these ordeals. So I will let her explain that part of
Right.
it.
Natasha, talk to us about how CJ got into that hospital and how was he, what kind of state was he in at that time?
He was in a lot of pain. And when I reach and meet them, already give him drips. And they were checking his vital pressure and all of that. And his pressure was real low because when they checked the pressure, it was so low that I thought he would have like passed out at that time. Praying with him, I called my mother. She was there praying too. So all that kind of revived him back. And his body, when I look at his body, I am the one who pay attention to him, really pay attention to my child. I start to inspect his whole body from his head to his foot and start to take pictures. Nobody else was doing that. I even inspect his forehead and I told the nurse he have a deep cut at his forehead. So she come and she dress it. Then I start inspect like lower down and I saw he have a toe and the toe is boss. And I told she about it and she just that one. When I look at his hand, you could see bone, and his hand, you could see bruise on his hand. You look at his foot, you could see like if something walk on his left foot, down to his foot, but up in his leg was like more wrapped up, like, and they have to pull it out because up in his leg break. So his foot did twist. But at the time he was crying out for his back and his neck. He keep telling me, "Mommy, my back, my neck." They did have him on a board. And I tell him, well, I can't do nothing about it right now. They went and do an X-ray with him. And he was saying he can't move his hand. When they went in the X-ray room, they were coming out. I told them to do an X-ray with his hand then because he cannot move his hands. They went back and they do an X-ray with his hands. They said nothing wrong with his hands, nor his chest, but his foot is broken and he have bruise and so on his body. He was still crying out for his neck and his back. "Mommy, I'm not comfortable." He keep telling me still not comfortable. Well, is when they decide to transfer him to the ward. When they carry him over to the ward, I asked a nurse if he could watch him for me. She said yes. I said I have to go home. So I told she what happened to him. He cannot move his hand nor his feet, nothing. Well, she said to him, CJ, can you feel your hand and your feet? He said no. She said it have to be something to do with his spine. So I call a friend of mine and I tell the friend, this nurse telling me something have to do with CJ's spine. So I was saying, how come they didn't see that before? But it's the next day when I went back, they tell me something wrong, something else wrong with CJ, and they go in and carry him for a CT scan. That is when they come back and tell me that CJ fourth this and fifth this damage.
At this point in time, what was the police officer saying? Did you speak to the police or the group of officers, or did anybody tell you anything?
Well, when we was in casualty, I call a friend of mine and they call the commissioner of police and they must send 2 police officers. Before the 2 come, 1 come. And when that 1 come, he said, asking a nurse if the person who they bring is, if he's dead or he is alive. So me say, who want to know if my son is dead or he is alive? So I say, is you who ran over my child? He said, no. There are 2 police officers coming to talk to me. So when they come to the room and one of them start to question me. So while they were questioning me, they asked me if he could give a statement. I said he's not well to give a statement because he's feeling real pain. So they asked me my name and all of that. They asked me if I could give a statement. I said, no, I'm not fit right now to give a statement. Well, he went to after he finished talking to me, he went to the doctor to talk to the doctor, and that was it. Then I think it was Saturday. Inspector come and talk to me, asking me how he's doing. And I tell him he's not well. He's not doing good. And he just go to his bed foot, look at him, and went to the doctor and talked to the doctor, and that was it. And none of the police who did run him over never come to me and said nothing.
You know, were there any eyewitness? Kamala, bring back in the Devian. Were there any eyewitness? Anyone who saw what happened? Do they have any video, any photo evidence, hard evidence, Devian, as to what transpired on that particular day?
Well, from what we understand, I mean, there was some video recording that was done, but that was after the incident that took place when they couldn't get that transport to drive. There were, well, that same said person, right, that took him to the hospital. He was sitting on his porch when he saw the transport chasing behind the bike.
Okay.
So, but nobody actually saw an impact, at the time that the accident happened.
Did anybody hear anything? Did anybody in the close proximity hear him screaming out? Did anybody hear impacts? Any hard evidence at all?
Well, from what I could tell you, people hear the echo, and they thought it's like when the police was chasing him, they saw the police chasing him and how they was like under him, and they thought it's like when they reached close to him and they heard the noise, they thought it's like gunshot they were hearing. They thought that they shoot him, but when they reach on his side, that is not what they see. They see that he was well bruised up and, born up and whatever happened to him. Because there was somebody there was saying, leave him there. We're professional, deal with it. She call the ambulance. And they still take him up and put him inside the vehicle.
So let's try to bring in the next family member. I see, is it Natisha? Cobbs, if you could just bring in Natisha. I don't know if she's a family member. I think she's a. Come on, Cobbs, bring her in.
Yes, she's my daughter.
Okay, that's your daughter. All right, we got Natisha on right now. Natisha, how are you? Okay, your audio is off. Unmute
You
yourself.
hear me now?
Natisha, are you there?
Good night.
Yeah, hi Natisha, how are you doing? I know this is hard for you. I know this is hard for the entire family and having to leave to this and talk about it again. But tell us about what you heard, what you know, and what you've seen as it relates to this incident involving CJ.
Well, Wednesday I was at work and I got the phone call that my brother is in the hospital. He got into an accident, right? So I immediately left work and came home and packed some stuff for him. And then I went down to hospital and I saw him in the emergency room in a very bad state.
What
He
did he
had a
tell you?
lot of
What when you finish that thought, I want you to talk about what he told you happened right immediately then. But go ahead.
He had a lot of dirt on his skin, all in his eye, his mouth, a lot of bruises, burn marks, and his leg was looking horrible. And at that time, he wasn't quite saying much, but when you ask him question, he would say yes, no, and in and out of consciousness,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Later that evening, I was at the hospital outside sitting, and there was a guy behind of me speaking about the incident, and he was saying, well, it seemed as if he was a policeman, right? He was saying, um, my brother would have a different story from the policeman. So I was there listening while he was relating to the persons that are working at the hospital, and he was saying that it's long time them policeman out for them biker man, and they chase two bike boys down Leeward, and the man know that the road have a dead end, right? And then I turned around to him and I was like, so you were there? And he was like, no. So I asked, how do you know exactly what happened? He said he heard about the incident. And then he's not going to say anything further because he don't want to incriminate himself. And then he immediately left from where he was.
So a lot of people still have information and they're not talking about it. Kobe, bring back in Davion. Guys, we're talking about this very sad incident that happened. And that's not the worst of it. Because I was speaking to the grandmother earlier and she was telling me that CJ had a lot to say about what happened. He was speaking about what happened and what it did to him. But he didn't want to tell it all. He told, was it you, mommy, that he told that when he get out, he'll tell you the whole story?
Yes, he said we will not, because I was cross questioning him.
Right.
Like when he tell me when he get like hit by the vehicle, like this Saturday before the Sunday he died. He was like saying, "Mommy, they're wicked." I said, "Who wicked?" He said, "Mommy, the policeman, they're wicked." I said, they're wicked with." He said, "Mommy, they could have at least eased upon me, mommy. They was easing upon me. And if they be eased upon me, all this not been gonna happen to me." So it's like after he was telling me when he was under the vehicle and he did underneath the wrapped up and he door. Me say, CJ Rich door. So he said, "Mommy, you will not understand, but when I recover, I will tell you all how the story goes."
So he's laying in the hospital there in immense pain. You guys don't even have any reports from the police, full report as to what transpired with CJ. He's laying and he's in pain. Tell me what the hierarchy in the police force are saying. What are they doing? Are they launching investigation? Is the police officers is the police officers being investigated, or were they investigated? What are they doing? What is the hierarchy of the police force doing to give the family information as to what transpired?
Well, they're not telling me nothing. They say the investigation finished and what and what. So it have a time. They called me to collect the bike. I went with my brother and my CJ father and some others to collect the bike. When we went, I saw the vehicle that CJ said run him over, knock him down and run him over. Because I went there before, I didn't see the vehicle. So the second time I went back, I saw the vehicle because we went all the up and looked for the bike. And we inspect the bike and see that the bike was damaged from behind. And like the bike break too. So we went back there after they said to come for the bike. But I decided not to take the bike because I want to know how come the investigation still going on and they want to give us the bike. When I asked them why they're giving us the bike, because they're inspecting the bike so they could give us the bike. I asked them, I said, look, y'all vehicle outside there. Why y'all have to fix the vehicle who are getting accident with my son and run over my son and knock down my son? They cannot give us an answer. I said, but y'all not supposed to fix a vehicle. We're doing investigation. And they inspect the bike. They asked us if we want the bike. I said, no, I'm not taking it because the way they do it is not the right way. So we leave the bike. We went to the commissioner of police. I asked him the same question. Why did they fix a vehicle? We're getting accident with my son. He said he don't know much about that. All he could tell me my son fall off the bike and get in accident. I said, with whom? He telling me, just an accident, he just fall off the bike. I said, so why y'all fix y'all vehicle? So he tell me why they fix the vehicle is just a blowout tire. I said, that is more than a blowout tire. Y'all front end damage, y'all bumper damage. My child bike mark is on top the front of the bumper and all that. A lot of things come off of their vehicle and how is just a blowout tire? I even tell him to do the right thing. I tell him to do the right thing, bring forth those men to confess of what they do to my son, and I leave. Up to the time we can't get no answer.
Days later, while laying there in agony and pain at the hospital, CJ passed away. And that is the very sad part of it. CJ didn't survive to even tell you the full story, what happened to him, what they actually did to him. He didn't survive that. Do you think that he got the proper attention that he needed, life-saving attention at the hospital? Do you think that he was treated properly there?
Well, they were trying their best to help him. Even more can be done. They were trying their best to help him. So, and in St. Vincent, they don't have the proper equipment and all of that to deal with this kind of injury. And when the child go in the hospital, if they didn't know how to treat the child in the first place, if the police then was there to say what happened to the child, they would have known how to treat the child different. But because nobody was there to explain, to say what happened to the child, you know, they don't know really how to treat the child. They treat the child in the best way that they could treat the child. Because them should have they say, well, what happened to the child? If a child say he was under the vehicle, he gets knocked over and was under the vehicle, them should have they explain and say what happened to the child. But you can't just bring somebody and leave them there and expect them to just treat somebody and don't know what happened to the child.
Devian, the police officers that was involved in this incident,
Yeah.
what are they saying? What is the What is the Prime Minister saying? What are people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines saying about this disgraceful situation?
Well, the people of the country is highly upset. Everybody, highly upset about the situation. But like we already know, sometimes if somebody does not come out and confess something, then you might not get the accurate truth on a matter. Because if the police are saying they never made a statement that they got into an accident with the motorist, the body of the motorist was removed from a place of accident. No measurements, no reports of it, no pictures, no nothing were taken by the police at the point of the accident. And if it was an accident, then you should have already been back to that scene of the accident with family members, the police that was, involved in that incident, to go over what transpired. Okay, where did you meet the body if it wasn't an accident? Why was there a call made to the station instead of the hospital reporting we have an injured person on the way to the hospital in critical condition who was involved in a motorcycle accident? Or if that was the case, then why wasn't that the statement that was made? Nothing like that was done. There was only a call to the station for additional transport to move the body instead of contacting the necessary authorities, the hospital, to get an emergency transport with the proper equipments to handle. Because if I fell off my bike and I suffered a concussion or broken bone or whatever, I don't know. I am not going to handle a body. And in the manner in which they handle that body tells you they did not give a regard about that person that they was handling. It was not a pretty sight to look at the way they were moving the body and handling that body. It was not pretty. Trust me. And if there wasn't something there that's not supposed to happen, why wasn't it reported? Why the family was not being able to go at the site of the accident? Because it's a fatality at the end of the day. That's what it is. It's a road fatality, yes, even if the person died a few days after.
Yes.
So then why the family is not there with the police at the scene of the accident to go over what happened? How are we not aware that, okay, this is where we met the body, this is where we met the bike, if that was the case? So there are still no questions answered. And if you ask the right, there would be no answers.
And that is strange. When you go back, did anybody go back to the scene?
Because
privately and look?
Well, we went there numerous times, and they are obtained evidence that that transport was directly where that body was.
Wow. Wow.
So these questions are being made to us, and we are asking these questions, and we are pleading and begging for these answers, and nobody is responding to us in any way that would be able to ease or comfort anybody in answering the questions. But there are too many overwhelming evidence to prove that that transport was there and it was involved in that accident with that motorcycle.
Ma'am, you mentioned about the investigation. Is the investigation ongoing? Has it been concluded? And also talk to us about the autopsy and what did the autopsy reveal?
Well, the investigation, this is finished. I supposed to get a file to pay to my lawyer, and it's like it was last week Tuesday I was supposed to get that. When I went for the file, the commissioner tell me the file ain't ready yet. He said I must come back for 3. I said I cannot come back for 3 because that is what I'm in town for, to collect the file. he said he will get somebody to bring it for me or to call me about it. I said, okay. I never received no file, nothing.
Wow. So at this point, have you gotten a chance to, or anybody in the family gotten a chance to see the autopsy report?
Yeah, but we don't really want to discuss that, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We don't have to discuss that. But you do have a copy of the
Yeah, we have a copy. Yeah.
right. You don't have to get into details with it, but does it identify what you were seeing?
Well, no, what, especially the bone, they didn't say that he get bone.
Right. Could you talk about the reason or the cause of death? Because he died 3 days later. Could you talk about the reason on the autopsy report or the cause of death?
Tell you the honest truth, I even know what to tell you because there's so much complication, so much thing was happening to CJ, especially his body, you know, because he was getting shortness of breath, his heartbeat was dropping, and all of that.
Right. There is no doubt to me that the abuse that was inflicted on that young man ultimately, at the end of the day, caused his demise. Because as I said, if you guys saw some of the pictures, some of you guys saw the videos, some of you guys saw stuff that was circulating on social media, I got to see it as well. And there is no doubt that what transpired there ultimately caused his demise 3 days later. My question is, what would happen to these officers? Is it just an open and shut case? Are they going to be out there possibly doing this again to somebody? Somebody need to make an example. There needs to be some independent investigation on this to find answers. And you guys should have more answers than this, but it's just not provided to you. You don't have it. And that is frustrating and puzzling at the same time, especially with your mom. I mean, this I could see, I could feel the pain that you're going through, dealing with this and still having unanswered question as to what really happened to your son. What does justice look like? What do you want to see as justice for your son?
Well, justice is like they kill my son, and I want justice that those policemen locked up for what they do to my son. It's really hard to see them could live and live to see their kids, and I cannot live to see my child. It's really hard, and they know what they do, and they're telling lies and say that they don't do it. And the authority need to do the right thing, because it's not easy for me to wake up every morning, expect to see my child, and I'm not seeing my child. I feel like if I'm dreaming sometimes, that when I wake up, I will see him, and he is not there. It's not easy for me. It's very stressful.
Yes, yes. We're gonna open up the phone lines. If you guys just want to call and just lay some kind of words of comfort to the family here, put the number up on the screen. Let's have this conversation. 718-701-5720. If you're calling from St. Vincent or the Caribbean or Grenada, you could call in the WhatsApp. The number on the screen, 718-701. Could put up the number for me? 718-701-5720. Again, offering a level of comfort to the family on this very, very difficult time. I know that also in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they're organizing a protest on, I believe, on Thursday. Mom, are you involved in the protest that will be held?
Yes, I was involved in all of those protests.
Okay, all right. And for justice. So again, 718-701-5720, guys. Call in right now if you have anything if you have any additional information that we could use towards processing or prosecuting or putting out there, so these police officers who did this to this young man, this young child, could see justice. You could also give us that information. We'll try our best to see how we could work to get independent investigation to go forward on this. The protest, I think, would also work. But we need information. Call us up right now, 718-701-5720. We're talking here to the family after going through this terrible incident. Her son going through this terrible incident. Damien, the protest has been organized. You know, a lot of people have been supporting. A lot of people have been speaking out. I see Rice Haruna also been very active as well. What do you want to say to the people? What does justice look for you, Damon? What do you want to see? Unmute him. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, well, I just want to reach out to like everybody. This is just not gonna be about CJ and getting justice for CJ, because stuff like these are gonna keep occurring in and around the entire Caribbean, around the world, and everybody not only supporting the family, but they're also gonna support every individual out there that rides a bike. And I
Right.
just want to encourage all Vincent and everybody in and around the Caribbean, wherever they are, to show some support, say something, post something, put some word out there, because the more we speak, is the louder we're gonna be. And the
Yeah.
louder you are, there's more we're gonna be aware, you know, of what is going on. And
Yeah. Okay. Let's jump to the phone line right now. We got a caller on the line. Caller, live. Where are you calling us from?
Yes, I have a question for the mother.
Yes.
There is going to be a protest this Thursday. I just want to find out if they're going to make themselves present for CJ. This young man needs justice. And I understand that the family is more concerned about not being political. This don't have nothing to do with political. This is your child. You understand? And I think they should go out fully and support the child. This is wickedness they're doing to this woman child. I just want to know if she's going to be there this Thursday.
All right. Mom?
Hi.
Yeah, I guess you already answered that. She wanted to know. Were you hearing the caller?
Yeah, I heard the caller, but we didn't have that discussion on Thursday about we're supposed to have a protest coming up, but I didn't know it was this Thursday.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, people are mobilizing in solidarity. A lot of people are mobilizing for justice for this young man. Because when people look at it, they don't want, they see their child. When they look at CJ, they see their own son, and no one wants to see that happen again. So people are mobilizing, people are making phone calls and making an arrangement. How is protest action? How is protest being set up? Does it go through you, or what is the process? If in the protest that's happening, are you involved in coordinating as well?
Yeah. Yes, I'm involved. I always be there whenever we have something. I always be there. And
Okay.
my family and everybody else who supported us.
Right. Okay, we'll keep the phone lines open, guys, if you want to call in right now to send out your solidarity and support for the family. 718-701-5720. A very sad and emotional situation happened to this young man, CJ. Only 18 years old. His life was taken so brutally after a massive incident that damaged the young man. 3 days later, in hospital, he died. The family has tons of questions. They're not getting any answers. And that is even frustrating the situation even worse. I didn't hear from you, Natisha. What do you want to see? What do you want to see happen going forward? What would you like to see happen? We're not hearing you again.
You heard me now?
Yes.
Well, I would like to hear the policemen that were involved in the accident to come forward and confess what they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such wickedness.
Oh, yes. We got a call on the line.
We
Caller, your line,
protest
where you calling us from?
Trinidad.
Hello?
Trinidad. Hello?
Hello? Caller, go right
Hello?
ahead. Yeah, caller, go right ahead. Where you calling us from?
Yes, I'm calling from Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago, go right ahead.
Yes, I just want to tell the mother my condolences, Mom. Stand up for your son. Don't study. If you didn't know the protest or you didn't know, you have to be in front that line for your son. And every protest that have you stand up as the mother you are for your son, you need justice, and God is going to give you justice. Believe that God is real and He sees and knows everything. And those police have to pay for your son justice. Have a blessed night.
Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago. We appreciate you. Mom, let's close it off here.
Well, I have something to say. Not
Go ahead.
only that,
Yes.
we did have a candle lighting, and after the candle lighting, somebody called me unknown and checked me. And I went to them and told them about it, and it's over like 4 weeks, going to 5 weeks, and nothing come out of that neither.
Somebody threatened you?
Yes, over the same thing. A man called me and checked me. They said they will look into it, and nobody come back to me and said nothing. I asked them about it. Up to the hour now, I ain't get nothing from them. Hear nothing from them.
So you reported that to the police and nothing at all?
Nothing at all. They take a statement. They say they will look into it, and nothing at all. They did have me in a circle with it until I go to the head, and the head tell me to get to the commissioner, and he got to the commissioner, and the commissioner say we'll look into it, and nothing at all come out of it.
Wow. Listen, we calling on the hierarchy, the high brass, someone with some kind of humanity in them. Look at what the family is going through right now. They are seeking justice for their son. Somebody had to be human enough and see the pain that the family is going through, and do something. Listen, this crime should not go unpaid. The police officers that were involved in this incident should come forward. Hold on. Yes, the police officers involved in this should come forward. And I'm appealing to the Prime Minister, from the Prime Minister, the opposition leader, everybody that could do something, that have a voice, please come up and speak and see how we can bring justice for this family. Let's come back to the phone lines. Caller, where are you calling us from? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hi, caller. You're live. Hello? Hi, caller. All right, Mom, thank you so much. Damian, thank you so much for joining us. Well, let's take this last call. We get some closing words, and we leave it right there. Caller, where are you calling us from? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Listen to us on the phone lines, not on the broadcast. Listen to me on the phone lines. Are you hearing me?
Sorry, what did you say?
Are you hearing me?
No. Hold on. Ooh.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hi, you're live on the air.
Yes, I know I am live on the air.
Go ahead. We're listening.
Hello.
Yeah, we're listening. Go right ahead, caller. We're listening.
Okay, so I am calling to encourage CJ mom because I am living in Toronto, Canada, and I am from St. Vincent as well. When I heard about CJ death, it really hurt my heart because I have a son that around the same age like CJ. And I want to encourage the mother to go on the picketing line and protest for her son. Because if she doesn't go, why should the public get involved? She has to be interested in standing on the front line and protest for justice for her own son. Because people are out here, we are protesting with her as well because we have children too. And another thing I don't like with the justice system in St. Vincent is that why are they hiding these policemen? They are treating this case like it's a private matter. And it is very sad. It is very sad. They really need to do something about it and stop using this boy's death as a private matter because it's very painful and it's hurtful.
Yes.
So, CJ mom, I encourage you. This has nothing to do with any political affiliation. I don't care which party you support. This is your child. Stand up for your child. Stand up for justice for your child because CJ deserves it. Okay? So have yourself a wonderful evening and goodbye.
All right. Thank you so much, caller, for calling in. We're going to leave it right there. Moms, any closing words before we wrap up?
Well, I want to thank all those who supporting us, all those who are there for us, give us the encouragement. Sometimes we are feeling down and stressed out, but thank God that we have people around us that pray for us and, give us a little word of encouragement, and my family, friends, and those who are far and distant, all overseas. Thank everyone for supporting us.
Yes. Davian, any final closing words? He's muted. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. First off, I want to thank you, for having us on your show and give us an opportunity to share with the world the story that we have and what we are going through at this moment. And I want to appreciate all the supporters that we have behind us, people who've been encouraging the family, praying for the family, standing there with the family. And whoever else the story is going to reach, I want to say thank you, and we greatly appreciate everything that been happening so far, and would like to see a lot more people showing that support, because our voice ain't as loud as we might think, because but we're trying, and we are out there. We've been out there, we've been on the streets, we've been driving around St. Vincent and the Grenadines, putting it out there. So for those who don't understand or who is not aware, we have been out there. We have been on the road with the trucks and cars and protesting. Not only standing around, but we drive across the country and do whatever protest that we could do from time to time. And it's something that will be continuing for a long time, because losing CJ, I lost a big part of myself. Trust me. And it's been tough and it's been hard for me, my sister, CJ's sister, his grandmother, even his friends, because there are a few of his friends that might need counseling of what transpired to CJ. And they might need serious counseling because they still cry every single day. They were that close. And CJ did not deserve any of this. There's nothing to justify the actions of these police. Absolutely nothing to justify their actions. I know they are guilty, and we need to get justice done for CJ. in this country. We need to have that done. So, on saying this, again, thank you for having us. We appreciate it. Hope we could do it again some other time.
Yes,
And
absolutely. We will get an update and continue to check in with you guys for an update. Before we go to Naticia, we got one last call from St. Vincent and Grenadines. Caller from St. Vincent and Grenadines, go right ahead. You're live.
Good afternoon.
Hold on. Your background is kind of loud, very loud. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say my deepest condolences to CJ's mom. I am a mother of 2 sons as well. I just want to tell her to be strong and do not stop fighting for justice for her son. She deserves to get justice for CJ. I don't know CJ. I never know CJ. But when I heard about the incident, I cried like every time I heard about CJ's incident. It brings chills to my body, tears to my eyes, and pain in my heart. I have a son, 21 years old. And, you know, it's not an easy thing to see that mother have to bury her 18-year-old son. He did not deserve to die like that. He wasn't committing any crime. He wasn't wanted for murder, you know? So it's like, why they have to kill him like that? I listened to a live with her already. He said, Mom, they won'tfully, they didn't have to do me so. I had to drop the phone and go down on my knees. I said, oh my God, it's a terrible, terrible situation. And as the caller said a while ago, we're encouraging her to come out this Thursday and let us stand up for justice. I will be there. Other friends of mine who are mothers as well will be there. We need justice for this young man. CJ is gone, but we don't know who is next.
Yeah.
We do not know who is next.
Yes.
Put politics aside. We need to put politics aside and stand up for justice for this young man. He did not deserve to die like that. I looked at videos with him. He was such a brilliant young man. Nobody knows what the future holds for this young man. So Miss Weeks, if Miss Weeks is your surname as well, stand up. Do not back down. You need to fight for justice. Go down on your knees. Fight for justice for your son. You deserve it. CJ deserve it.
Yes.
All the best to you. Keep strong. You just have to look to God for strength and keep fighting. Go back to Commissioner John. Let he do the right thing. Do not give up. And this is my plea. This is what I have to say to her.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, caller. I appreciate you. And last to Naticia, talk to the world about your brother and what you want people to know and remember your brother for.
CJ was a very jovial person. He was always smiling, dancing, making some sort of joke. I just want to encourage the youth to support CJ in this traumatizing.
Yes.
In this time, and I hope that CJ case will set precedents to the country and other Caribbean countries so that this won't happen to anybody's son or daughter ever again.
Thank you so much, family. And we're going to keep in touch and update everyone as what's happening, what's going on with this case here. Very, 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 very sad situation, guys. This young man, only 18 years old. Only 18 years old. And the family had to go through this kind of make me feel, you know, I have almost 18 years old, and I don't know how I would have acted if I was the father in this situation here. So I understand what the family is going through. Again, we're going to keep you guys updated on this story. And listen, do all that you can to support them. For folks in the village, in the areas that knows the family well, reach out to them because they're going through some difficult times at this moment. And we hope that they get justice for this young man, brilliant young man. I keep everyone up to date on what's going on here. This is Right Along Live. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today. I'll come back with some closing remarks. Let's just take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Don't move.
Grenadians, you asked for change, and we are bringing the change. Change is a we thing, but change requires a contribution from all of us. Remember, one cocoa fills the basket. Make a contribution to NDC's grassroots campaign for change today. Click the link below to make your contribution. Thank you.
And Promotion presents Cream. Yes, cream of the crop. The best of the best. Soca DJs out of Brooklyn and Queens. Come party with the best of the best every other Saturday at 9 p.m. starting from April 2nd through July 23rd at 204 Parkside Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Get your $20 early bird tickets at eventbrite.com. This event will also be streamed live globally. Photographers and videographers will be on site to catch you in your best party mode. Advance tickets, $20. At the door, you pay more. Season 1, Episode 1.
The wait is over. The time is now. Get ready for mass. Get ready for mass. Get ready for mass. We are back.
Yeah, thank you for watching and supporting and always sharing the program. And again, this one hits close to home because, you know, I could only imagine how it feels, what the family is going through right now. But we give them all the support, and if they need any additional support and we could be of assistance, we're more than willing to help and be there for the family. If you are in the area and you know the family and you could support in other ways, please do so. All right, consider it like paying it forward, because we never know when we will be in the same or similar situation where we need support of others. We ask the mother to be strong because we understand what you're going through, and she needs the strength right now. It's going to be a difficult one going forward. Too many unanswered questions, and dealing with this situation over and over again could wreak havoc on someone's mental health and everything else, physically as well. I hope the mother take good care of herself. Thanks for watching again, guys. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for sharing Ride Along Live. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow with Ride Along Live. And this is a platform where everyone have a story to tell. Yeah, everyone. So we encourage you, if you have a story to tell, if you have some information you want to send out to the world, this is a platform. This was constructed. This platform was created for you to share your stories, share your success, share your happiness, share your stories as to empower others, as to help others. Also, it's important that we continue to support this platform, because this platform will continue to grow and continue to help others. But we can't grow as fast and as much as we would like to grow without your support. So we want you guys to become a supporter of this Ride Along program. This is how you could do that. My name is Junior George, founder and host of Ride Along Live. And I'm inviting you to become a paid subscriber to this platform. With your support of just $4.99 per month, you could do so much to help this platform grow and to help us help you and others around the world. We encourage you to click that link and become a supporter today.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. So there you go, guys. If you want to become a supporter of the platform, this is how you do. There's a link right on the bottom there. Click that link and become a supporter and pay it forward. All right. Thanks again, guys. On behalf of all our production team here at Team Ride Along, we have in studio with me production engineer Jacoby on the set. In the chat, we have our moderators Deanne Fraser, Kibbs, and Gail Charles, and my senior executive producer, Lois JJ. And on behalf of all our team here on Team Ride Along, we say good night and catch you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
Well, it's on the right along, so it's happening here.
Came over here. What does it mean? You know, I grew up in what I guess you call a typical family.
We break all the stories, and that's just a fact. And that's why everyone has a story to tell.
Right Along Live, I mean, yeah, it's the real deal.
Espera, ve.